Hi, this is Jules with Starcaster Radio. I have Naomi and Barbara here, and we are so excited to just share this beautiful time with you as we create our new Earth reality. And we are going to start today with the third element. And the third element is I am energy that fluctuates in vibration. The third element, feeling connected to the God, truth. You know that the chamber of the indigo element is always here for you to return to. The pen that writes the words of God can be there for you to use when you feel the need to hear God's words. Look around you. You are ready to move into the next chamber of your heart. The guides of the indigo room kiss your cheek and send you down the hallway to the door of the blue element. The entry is an old ancient castle door. It is beautifully carved with intricate roses around the curved archway. You feel a humming from under the door and are curious to what it could be coming from. You push it open the door and see the guides of the blue chamber. They are softly humming in a voice that seems beyond human. They see you enter and fill with excitement as they glide over to you after they've been anxiously awaiting your arrival. You feel peace and enthusiasm in their presence. Your guides bring you over to a window in the center of a wall laced in blue morning glories. The smell of the soft flowers fills the room, welcoming the element of the blue light into your body. You feel the element absorbing through your skin, and it gives you an energy that heightens all of your senses. Your vibration is raising up to a frequency that you can fully exist as particles of energy. You look at your body and see that it is glowing as a brilliant golden light. You feel fluid, as though you could feel as light as air. As you reach the window, you have a feeling that you could fly, and you do. You lift right off the ground and slip through the window. One of your guides leads you to different parts of your life. You see yourself as a child in school, and you're being teased by older kids. You have a strong sensation of your body changing and getting heavier. The guide takes your hand and points out that when you feel pain, your light loses its ability to shine and you become dense. You understand that you are energy, and seeing this experience lowered your vibration. You are exhilarated with the knowing that you truly are energy and want to experience more. The guide flies with you over a small town in the country. You see a field of flowers that goes on for miles. Filled with the lovely sight of these flowers, you feel your body expand into pure light. You look down thinking you will no longer be there, but you just have changed. You can see the particles within you dancing around in the glory of your light. Bliss overtakes you, and you feel as though you could expand and become all that is. The guide explains that your vibration is in the frequency of love. Your body fully absorbs the element of the blue ray. Your guide takes you back to the blue light chamber, and you float gently back onto the stone floor of this glorious room. You have a deep understanding that you are just energy that fluctuates in vibration. What an amazing element. The knowledge you have received through this experience gives you a new way of looking at life. We are all energy. We all affect one another. The guides fill you with the blue ray so that you can share this love with all you encounter. You ask yourself, what vibration do I want to vibrate at? What keeps me in lower vibrations? My thoughts. My thoughts are not mine, so the choice to raise in vibration is always there. I am not a victim of my life. I am a victim of my thoughts. I choose to not be a victim of my thoughts anymore. I am free. I choose to live in the vibration of God. It is done. Whew.
Thank you, Julie.
Okay. Absolutely. Naomi, do we have permission to speak with your higher self today?
Absolutely.
So in this meditation, it was talking about how we're not a victim of our life, but we're a victim of our thoughts. Is there a download that we can receive from the Council of Light that can assist us in moving our lower thoughts into higher frequencies so that we can move to a place where we can truly, I don't want to say control our mind, but not be the victim of third dimensional thoughts?
Yes, there is. And let's start with the Bible as being the living Bible. People refer to the Bible as being the living Bible. And it is true that it is the living Bible. The Bible actually, when we read it in third dimension, holds some density inside of it. But as the frequency rises, we can read it and have different meanings, and more light comes through. So the living Bible means it's constantly increasing in frequency with us and our thoughts. And there's a part of Naomi's mind that has been kept almost protected, like in a vault. And as the Starcaster community has come together and more people are just shining their light on this mission for this new community of light, her vault is opening up just to being able to access memories. And the memories that are coming up today are the memories of being in the womb. And this mantra is just repeated over and over that says, remember the light, 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 just over and over. And when Naomi was an infant, she met two people who came to visit her who had who carried the frequency of the three wise men. So this stimulated the memory to remember the light. And so from her own free will, she accepted the North Star. And when she accepted the North Star, it activated parts of her DNA connected to the mother and the father of Jesus. And the DNA is essentially a melting pot. Like, we all share the same DNA, but different DNA in our lives are activated. And so by activating the mother and father's DNA of Jesus, it's bringing this Trinity in for her, like the Mother and the Father and the North Star, creating this harmonization with the male and female energy. And in fact, I think Barbara may have talked about it a couple of times ago about the female energy coming back in. And so Jesus was here to harmonize, like, the male and the female energy. And so if we can stand upon the New Earth platform, we can ask for a harmonization of the Mother and the Father.
So can we call upon the North Star to activate our DNA through the Mother and Father?
Yes. So standing on the New Earth platform, I am the Mother. I am the Father. I call upon the North Star to bring in harmony. And I am the dove. So the dove in your activation is, or the bird in the activation is a symbol of the dove, which is a harmonization of, like, the male and female energy.
Thank you. I feel that.
And all of our brothers and sisters of our star family, if they know it or if they don't know it, they are shifting people through the North Star. And as frequency rises, they are releasing traces of the North Star.
So I've got a question, Naomi. These traces that they're releasing of the North Star, is that representative of the elements that we're talking about and the rainbow colors? How does that tie in together with the releasing of the elements of the North Star?
The North Star holds the prism and the ability. And as people are shifted through the North Star, so the North Star brings a shift with it. And if some people maybe don't realize what is happening, and it has them maybe go into their mind, it is still helping because it's releasing density. So it's releasing density if they realize it or don't realize it.
So what's happening is, excuse me?
Go ahead.
I just was wanting to understand, so the reason the North Star is releasing elements is to raise our frequency? Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, and it is also broadcasting to bring in the Christ light grid. So 144,000 people are going to accept the North Star. It can be more, but that's what's needed to anchor in Christ consciousness. And Julie, it might also pertain to your 4 + 5 + 9 when you break it down.
So let's just ask that the you said 144,000. Is that how many that you just said?
144,000 light beings.
So let's just ask that these light beings awaken to holding this light. Great. And is there, in this element that we're working on, it's talking about how we're only energy and that our energy fluctuates with the experience of what our thoughts are. Is there a way that we can connect to the rainbow light in our hearts that will allow us to hold higher frequencies? And if so, as we hold these higher frequencies, what will that look like as we transition and raise in frequency as we're able to hold this energy and release more density?
So as we're receiving these traces of the North Star, I'm seeing them spin in a circular direction inside of our body. And as they're coming into our body, or actually these little traces of density are releasing. So it's almost like this spinning tornado kind of look. It's like giving and receiving at the same time. And about your question, what it will look like. So I'm seeing, or what was that?
Go ahead.
Okay, so kind of what I'm seeing is Jesus standing on the New Earth platform, like just Jesus as he walked was just always walking on the New Earth platform. And if you can just open your heart to that, then you can feel it. You can feel what it will feel like.
So I've got a question. What I'm in my understanding is that Jesus is actually showing us the way, just like he did when he came to earth during the biblical time. He is showing us the way by through the North Star and the frequency coming from that he's emitting is actually connecting us with that frequency that we need to reach in order to move onto the New Earth platform. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Thank you.
And in fact, in the Bible, it talked about the baptism, and they used water, but water was a symbol of the North Star. So even in the Bible, they were speaking about the North Star.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
It's so beyond words. I'm just not even sure what to say.
It feels like in our last podcast we had an I am statement. I am dove. I am the dove. And so what it's feeling like is the wings of the dove, like our wings were just starting to fly. There's expansion in the whole body, and that is the sensation of like just freedom and flight.
Wow. Is the symbology of the dove, does that represent the Christ energy coming to the earth, and spreading its wings or its body over the earth? And what do you get on that?
It does. It represents the harmonizing the mother and father energy in oneness, and then birthing the new child who is the dove.
Wow, okay. Thank you.
So I just opened this book that was in front of me. I don't know why, I just was told to do so. And I turned to this page, and I'm going to read it because I feel like it holds exactly what you're talking about. So it's the keys to the true Israel are to be found in the children of light, a remnant people in all nations, for they are the receptacles for the flame of God. Whoever will carry the flame of God will live in the field of glory and the light, and they will be the people of people, with the energies of the great rushing, uprising themselves to the sun of light, and create the white brotherhood. So I feel like those are the 144,000 people you were talking about.
Absolutely.
It feels exactly like that. And with the all the nations that you spoke about, this is what it seems like. It seems like no matter what religion that you follow, it's all the same type of energy, and so we can all be in this brotherhood when we even put down our religion to meet in this brotherhood, because there is no separation. It's beyond the religion.
It definitely is, and I think that, you know, as we raise in frequency, the structure of religion is released as well, because it becomes such a personal journey between the individual and their divine that it goes beyond anything that was even thought of or created in the third dimension.
Yes, and I think, too, that religion was something that the ego manifested in order to be a part of this indescribable light that they could not, in physical form, really understand. So they developed these rules and regulations, which we call religion. And each religion has its own perception, because, you know, the ego has to define itself, when in light energy there's no definition. It just is. So the 144,000 is the light beings that came to this earth to reawaken mankind, and it has been done. And that is why the Christ energy has come back. That is why the Christ energy is fulfilling the needs that we have to have in order to raise our frequencies. And, it's just an awesome realization and understanding. Thank you.
And Barbara, to add something to that, I think in the last podcast that we did, or one of the last ones, you were speaking about a time when you lived in Egypt and you were going down the hallway, and like an initiation, you had to make the correct choice. You had to be prepared for the initiation. And I'm kind of getting information around that. And it's that when you're dealing with these type of highly spiritual things, you have to go into it without ego. And if you go without ego, you can get to where you're going. But if you go in with ego, it actually starts your third dimensional loop over. So that's why we have to be so careful to leave our ego behind when we're dealing with these spiritual type things.
Yes. Thank you. I think also what I'm getting to is that the big challenge for us here resonating at this third dimensional frequency is to be able to get past the ego, because the ego is dominant in this third dimensional reality. And we have gotten so used to the ego being in control of our thoughts that we have forgotten how to reconnect to the light energy. And so that is the entrapment. So that it's really important that the light beings balance out that energy so that we can remember how to get back to the light.
There's so much even more behind this of what you're saying of energy that's just ready to come in, but it's going to be coming in over the next, I'm not sure what the time limit is, let's just say 6 months, a year. As we raise in frequency, it is already there. It is just waiting for us to receive it.
I agree with that, Naomi. Like, I feel that, we're already living on the new earth, and we're like holding the frequency right now of existing in the new earth. But then with, like, we talk about the ego, but it's like our lower consciousness, or the consciousness and the frequency that we're used to resonating in as being a third dimensional being, well, we're not anymore. So really we're in the multi-dimensions, but because our consciousness has been resonating in what it means to be a third dimensional being, that we're breaking through that illusion by activating different parts of our mind. And so, I'd like to ask for a download for not only the consciousness of being aware that we're in the new earth reality, but that this consciousness moves into our physical vision so that we can actually see with our God eyes that we are existing in the new earth right now.
That is something that the Council of Light can assist with, and it's a very beautiful request. And there is going to be a time in your very near future that you don't even remember the struggles that you had in third dimension. Like they never even existed.
I believe that as we clear the lower mind.
Yes, and also the challenge right now, I think, for light workers is to be able to exist in this third dimensional reality with one foot and the other foot being in the higher frequency. And we have to learn to anchor that light here for those who are still struggling to connect with the light and to move into the new earth. So that is the job of the light workers. And it takes a certain amount of, what would I call it, tenacity? Yes, maybe. That would come in order to allow us to anchor that light. Basically.
So at this time, let's hold space on the energy grid for 144,000 light workers. And obviously it can be more. But let's just hold a place for them, for each person, so they have a place. They have a place to be and call home and feel like it's their home. And the whole grid is just lighting up right now, golden.
I just see all these like energetic hands like coming together and just creating this. Yeah, it's very golden. Just this beautiful light grid.
Yes, and the more we connect with that energy, the easier it will be for those that are struggling to reach out to the light. They're going to be able to start having the thought patterns that they begin to understand what all of these mysteries have been, the answers to their questions. And it becomes like, wow, why didn't I see that before? Well, it's because this light energy is just now being able to reconnect through the Christ energy, through the God particle, to raise us up from this third dimensional frequency into the new earth frequency and the freedom of our light bodies.
I just want to say again, so when Jesus was on the earth, he did live on this earth in the new earth. So he's just such an example for us.
Absolutely. That was his purpose.
Yes, if he can, I'm just hearing like, if I can do it, you can do it.
Right.
Wow, I love it. Is there any other messages that the Council of Light has today, Naomi?
Just a second. Harmonize in these frequencies delivered today because they will support your entire brain and reprogram your higher mind.
Thank you.
Did you have any other questions, Barbara?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I'm just like buzzing so hard. I just like can't even function right now. So, Barbara, would you like to finish with the exercise of the blue ray?
Yes, thank you. Okay. Call on the blue light ray and allow this beautiful color to fill your body. The blue ray holds the vibration of the third element and invites you to know you are energy. Set in the space between thoughts and resonate with the power of the blue ray. Feel the particles in your body spread out across the entire universe. Lose the sensation of form and become space. Rest in knowing you are the space between and enjoy the freedom it brings. Call in the vibration of the third element the next time you feel stuck. The element will assist you in moving into your light body. You are energy that vibrates at the frequency you are resonating with. So resonate with light. Thank you.
I feel like let's just hold the vision of that, of just that we are what we resonate with. And so let's just ask that until next week that we all resonate with the light of our divine. And then I just want to thank Naomi's higher self and the council and Barbara and just all of you that are part of this beautiful family. And until next week, have a a wonderful day, and we're sending you tons of love.
I love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.